We know that I have PCOS, and finding products that work for me that are without pore clogging ingredients is a must. And we have found the company that has made this so simple, so easy. We're talking Clearstem.
I want to know a couple of your favorite products, and then I want to tell you a couple of
Okay,
mine.
because I have a couple.
Top
Okay,
two.
top two.
If you had to say
Fine.
two faves.
All right.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with the Cell Renew serum, which has specifically been really, really helpful in helping to regulate my hormonal acne. And the Bounce Back serum, oh my God, been so helpful in plumping up those fine lines and wrinkles that we know have just gotten so much more deep after moving to Los Angeles. Thank you so much for the weather here. Wait, what are you loving right now?
Okay, this is fun because I have different ones. Like if you wanted to start getting your foot in the door with just one product with them, I would say Clarity.
Oh, yeah.
It's an AHA mandelic acid serum that also has vitamin C. And the other one, so I'm really in my like heal my skin barrier era right now. And so Hydra Berry, it's their like delicious thick moisture mask. It's a mask
really
actually,
good.
but I use it as a moisturizer and it is just really giving me my glow back and helping diminish the outbreaks that I was doing by over exfoliating.
Wow.
So those are my go-tos.
I love that for you because you were a little scared of
I
going
was.
thicker with the moisturizer, and look what's happening. So if you are interested in trying out any of Clearstem's products, go to clearstem.com, or you can click the link in the show notes and make sure to use code THOUGHTS for 15% off your order.
Thank you, Clearstem. We love you.
We love you. Today we're looking great.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, truly thanks to you. We look great.
to you. You guys are the best. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today.
We're so happy to have you.
Cannot wait. I have so many like selfish questions about
Those
skin.
are
Like,
my favorite. I'm like, no,
we have
too much to
that's
get
what like
into.
podcasts end up turning into, and I have so much fun. I'm like, what are your because like your personal
Exactly.
questions are the same questions that everyone else has,
Right.
and it makes it more fun. Like, let's. What do you got? What skin questions do you have?
A
So
quick personal consult.
I know.
I love it.
Exactly.
It's a live skincare consult.
Nothing better.
What a better way to like showcase the knowledge, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Showcase
makes it
everything.
fun.
Okay, we have to start though. We start by asking every guest, "What are you unpacking?"
I feel like my biggest like unpacking and growth moment right now in life is for the longest time growing Clearstem. It was Danielle and I, and then it was like 4, 6, 8 employees. Like it was under 10, manageable. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Now it's 18 with like 5 to 6 more hires on the way, and I'm
It's
like,
a big jump.
oh my
Congrats.
gosh, I'm managing a family. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have children,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more management and less creative free time. Like my role in Clearstem has shifted definitely from founder, creative freedom, running around doing all the things, to leader, manager, and there's been triggers that come up for that.
Totally.
There's been triggers that come up for that. So I'm definitely unpacking as those come up, as I feel those like heightened sense of emotions, as I feel that intensity of overwhelm, of people needing me, needing approvals, waiting on me, whatever it may be. I'm learning how to unpack that right now. It's like, it's definitely a new chapter and growth period with myself and Clearstem that's unlocking new skill sets.
That's so cool, though. It's like push. I feel like a portal. It's like pushing
Yes,
into a new version of self.
I am being pushed.
Yeah.
I am being pushed right now.
Are you like exploring other creative outlets? Because I've met you for 30 seconds, but you do feel very creative. Like, do you feel like because you're not getting that outlet in Clearstem, are you trying to look for that in other avenues now?
Thank you. I feel like we're just like hanging out and like having coffee now.
That's the
I'm like,
vibe.
we're not even on a podcast. We're just like literally unpacking
how we want you
personal
to
things.
feel. Good.
This is like, you're reading my mind right now. Because in the last 2 weeks, I used to have a blog, I used to have a podcast back in the day, and then once Clearstem really started growing, I shut those down, put them on the back burner, and I was like, I will see you later.
Totally. Yeah.
And so I let like everything expire. Like my blog was very like old me, like 2015. So I was like, we're not even gonna redo this. We're gonna let everything expire. Like it's done, it's gone.
Yeah.
It needed to just be erased.
Death and rebirth.
And it was because it was like too much to like edit and go in. I was like, no.
Sure.
And I've been wanting to revamp my website, not only for like the speaking opportunities I do a lot of like mentoring. I'm on an app called Intro app where people can basically like book me for minimum of 15, maximum of 90 minutes to be mentored on anything that I would be more of an expert in.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I don't know that app.
it's real. Oh my God. Wait, guys, this app
so
is
up
so
my alley.
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
There
That's
are
awesome.
people. Okay, it's called Intro app. and you can book people of all different industries and skill sets. You have the founder of like Zillow on there, of like so many massive companies that you'd never be able to even get this person to open up an email or a DM, and you can just pay to book time with them, and you automatically hop on a video call with them, and you're paying for their time.
And it also kind of erases that awkward, like, small talk, trying to find the mentor, massage
like,
that relationship. It's just straight to the point.
It's just straight to the point.
Genius.
I love it. People submit questions ahead of time. So some people like book with me to discuss acne and health issues, but honestly, I majority get booked for business purposes of like someone's launching a company and wants my thoughts around whether it's like building an ambassador program or creative ads, podcasting, you name it, and I love it. So I feel like I want to revamp my website with personally what I'm spending time on growing and doing in addition to Clearstem. And so it's been a thought of mine lately. And probably when things get slightly quieter with Clearstem during the month of December, because like Black Friday, obviously November is such a huge month for us, like ton of content, ton of things going on. And then December is like, you'll have like gift with purchases and some like new product launches. But in general, the world gets a little quieter. So that I feel like December is my month for planning and rebooting all of this. So I've just been thinking on it.
Aligned timing for the world too, because then you enter January and you're like new thing to give birth to, like new thing to explore.
Communication just slows down. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like a metamorphosis time.
Yes. Oh, I've been loving that word recently.
Me too. I keep saying metamorphosizing. I keep using it in that way, which is like fully not a word, and I can't stop saying that.
Verbify it.
I'm verbifying it,
but
I've been verbifying it a lot recently, and it's like really doing it for. Please take it. Yeah, it's really doing it for me.
I love this.
It's new product name.
Yep. Honestly, though, like that's a great product name.
Please.
Just saying.
Collab.
Just saying.
Trademark for skincare use.
Yeah, exactly.
Match made in heaven. This trio right here.
I love it.
I really want to take it back because I feel like the clips that I've heard you talk about your story and the podcast that I've heard you on, I feel like there were a lot of pivots and moments of like active choice that led you to where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if there was a moment in your life that made you shift to really want to dedicate yourself to really understanding and learning about acne, and also then being of service to us and helping other people with it as well.
I love this because I feel like when you reflect back on your life or wherever you are now, you notice those little clues that emerge. So like I have those like little clues from when I was younger. There's like little cues in high school and college where I'm like, root cause of wellness was definitely a theme. Like quick little example, I ran track in high school and I ran the 800, which is like the most miserable race that possibly exists on the planet. Did you really?
Yes, because I was a cross country bitch and I wasn't good at the shorter races, so I did the 800.
Long story short, I very quickly realized what I ate for lunch that day directly correlated to not only my performance at like the meet later in the day, but also my like recovery. Like, would I get that migraine? Would I throw up after? Because I'd like push myself so hard. So those are like my first signals to realizing what you put in your body directly correlated how you felt. Or a reactionary process in your body. So there was clues like that kept happening through high school and college. And the big transition to acne really happened in my 20s. Like, why does it feel right now, this day and age, that every woman has a hormonal issue? Like
you're We're
going to talk about PCOS later.
Don't worry.
Like, why does it feel that every single woman has a hormonal issue right now? And that was me.
Especially our generation.
24 years old. I'm diving even more into root cause. I'm very much a why person. So I made the choice to get off birth control, and my whole body seemed to go completely haywire, which going through this at the time, I felt so alone. I was skin and bones. And on top of that, my whole face broke out in bright red cystic acne. I had never dealt with severe health issues in my life. And so I'm like, what is going on with my body? I went to the primary care doctor. They told me my hormones were imbalanced, so I had to go back on birth control. I didn't want to do any of this. They're like, okay, let's put you on 6 months of rounds of antibiotics. Didn't want to do that either. And they were like, well, we can't help you. My lymph nodes were also so swollen underneath my neck, like protruding to the point where you could see like under my ears and neck. So they were like, we're going to send you to an ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor. Went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor. They were like, let's monitor these, and if these don't go down in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll schedule a surgery to remove them. Like,
oh my God.
What? I was like, okay,
But
bye.
no conversation of why this might
No,
be happening.
I was like, they literally like stuck a snake scope like up my nose, down my throat, like camera looking at it. No reason, no explanation. They were like, if these just don't go down and this is problematic, then we'll remove them. Never went back. Then I went to the dermatologist, and this was after like trying to put myself on protocols, doing different elimination diets, like you name it, trying to figure out the
Also, like, how
health correlation.
expensive, too, to do
Oh my
all of
God.
this.
And I'm
Yeah.
24 years old, guys, I'm broke.
Yeah.
So the dermatologist was like, well, you have to go on Accutane. This is the only way to fix this. So after a few more months of trying to figure it out myself, I was like, I guess I have to go on Accutane. It's everything I currently go against with everything I'm learning and, you know, just learning through the world of wellness. But I don't see any other option. I also tried every single skincare that possibly marketed towards acne. Like, I purchased. And so I started the process to go on Accutane. For anyone that doesn't know, it's about a 30-day process because you have to take pregnancy tests 30 days apart and to prove that you're not pregnant, and then you have to be on 2 forms of birth control or sign a consent statement that you'll be celibate because it causes so much birth defects. Yeah, so because I wouldn't go on birth control, they were like, okay, you have to sign that you're either wearing a condom or you'll practice celibacy.
I didn't know
My
about the
husband was on
contract.
Accutane in high school, so we talk about it a lot.
Yeah,
but obviously
for women,
he's
because men don't have to sign that. Yeah,
Right, because why would they?
Yeah.
If they're not
No,
half of the
exactly.
fucking puzzle, but sure.
but okay.
Oh,
We have to
moving
sign our
on.
life
That
private.
just
Right.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
Please keep going.
Yes.
But wow.
So, literally a week before I was going to start it, I finally found my now co-founder Danielle, San Diego Acne Clinic. I found her and a naturopath, and the naturopath was doing like internal blood work. Danielle, my first meeting with her, I learned about the world of pore cloggers, how like literally just putting skincare and makeup topically on your skin can cause acne. So here I am about to be put on Accutane and birth control and antibiotics and removing my lymph nodes whenever
gosh.
like one of the biggest reasons of acne, especially external acne, is pore clogging ingredients in skincare and makeup. So that should be like everyone's first thing. That should be like dermatologist, doctor, like, hey, just to let you know, a big reason why you could have acne is
Certain ingredients.
certain ingredients and pore cloggers. Like, let's try that first.
Can I stop you? Because I have
Yes.
a question about
Yes.
that. Like, I don't know if this is just a stupid fucking question, but that made me think, okay, I understand why like there's filler and stuff like that in different ingredients, and I understand that people that might have like more acne prone skin are more sensitive to certain ingredients, but why would forget makeup, like why would a skincare company actively choose to put an ingredient that they know is going to clog your pores?
No, this is not a stupid question at all. It's probably like the biggest, once we open up the door for pore cloggers, this is the biggest question because it's like, well, duh. Like, why?
Right.
Yeah. So pore cloggers, aka comedogenic ingredients.
Right.
You'll see like
Okay.
non-comedogenic means non-pore clogging, but we'll get to how that's not regulated, and you can't even trust things that say that.
Live off
so
of.
yeah,
Right.
Great.
literally like, okay, cool. So there is a comedogenic scale of 0 to 5. 5 being this will clog your pores, 0 being this won't clog your pores. But there's in between ones, and there's gray areas. So some people will say coconut's a 5. Some people will try to say it's a 3. So there's no perfect formula system to it. We think differently. We have our lens of it, and we're like, even if it's a 2, that's a 40% chance of breaking you out. I'm not gonna put something that has a 40% chance of breaking out my skin on my skin.
Right.
So we only formulate with zeros, but other brands are like, well, it's a 2. So that's not high, so it's fine. There's a likely, but it's also 3 out of 5 not likely. So these ingredients are really helpful for hydrating purposes, for making certain claims, because you can't make claims on the front of a bottle unless you have the correlating ingredient that matches that claim.
see.
So if someone wants to make certain barrier restoring claims or acne breakout related claims, hydrating related claims, they'll match with that ingredient. So a cosmetic chemist is so focused on this beautiful formula that's going to have like the viscosity, which is like the feeling, have the absorption, have the correctiveness. They're focusing on those active ingredients. And then you see inactive ingredients that are just filler agents to either like add hydration or to thicken or to prolong hydration, to like add certain claims to it and just fill it. Yeah, for you to market it. Yeah, so it's just going to, they're not going to look at the lens of acne, because something can still be tested safe for sensitive skin but still have a pore clogger in it, because technically the way the safety testing is, that means it's not going to cause an allergic reaction. And since everyone's acne is also so different, you can't point fingers. You can't say like, well, it was this pore clogger. They could be like, well, are you eating dairy? Like there's so many causes of acne that you can't point fingers, so no one can ever get in trouble for it.
And then, everyone's skin is different. So I get saying like, well,
So,
if you're not acne prone and it's hydrating, I want to be able to make the claim. So I'm putting it like
there
I
are
get
people
it.
that are like, I rub coconut oil all over my face and I don't break out.
I don't understand
and
how
like,
that's possible. Me and my husband talked about that yesterday. I'm not even kidding. I put it on my arms and he was like, oh, and I was like, don't put it on your face. I know you, you know?
Exactly. So it's just like, there are those gray area things. Some people's skin has zero acne breakout to it, but we're the company that this is our ethos. We're never taking any chances. And we are the safety net for you, that you can use our products and you will not break out and you don't have to stress about it. And also like sometimes when you try a new product, you're like, is it the product breaking me out? Did I eat something? Like we don't want to be the company where you're trying to pinpoint what it was. We want to be the safe space where you know nothing's going to break you out.
And then lead you to clues about lifestyle or other things that could be going on because you know that's at a safe place. Okay, back to your story really quick because so many questions have come up in everything you've said already. It feels like in addition to this like healing journey for your body, I can only assume that like a mental health journey was corresponding with that.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing a little bit about that?
Of course. When I was at my worst with the cystic acne, I mean, it was bright red, inflamed cystic acne, like both sides of my cheeks, down my neck, like pustules. Some of the pustules, the blood would just come out, or like gunk. Like it wasn't even like clogged. It was like infected bacteria, clogged pores. It was just a mess going on. So I like couldn't even pop them. There was like ones on top of the other. It was rough. I didn't want to leave my house. I enjoy wearing makeup for the fun of makeup, but I wear makeup for like podcasts and like events and fun things. But on a day-to-day basis, I don't typically have makeup on. And I remember Googling what the Miss America and like Miss USA pageant girls were wearing. Because at this time, like again, 2014, like influencers weren't a thing. So I'm like, who is so beautiful on camera that like I know still struggles with acne, but you can't tell. And like honestly, it was at that time, it was like the Miss USA and it was like the pageant girls. And I remember Googling this like, and then finding this one brand. It is like clay theater makeup. It's like literally a pot of clay. I wish I could remember the brand right now, but it's like, I'm sure I could Google it and find it.
Do you remember
the
Maybelline plushie?
That's
the first thing I thought of. That we all
like
use
the
the
whip.
mousse.
Yes.
That's the first thing I
that
thought
too.
of.
Yes, it is like thick clay, and I was like putting this thick layer, and
that shows all the dry.
And because you can feel it 24/7. It's not like a bloating issue, which is like still so uncomfortable that you can like hide. Like I couldn't hide it. I could feel it all the time. I couldn't really hide it even with makeup, and I felt like people were looking at it all the time. It was painful to sleep. Like I had to sleep on my back because sleeping on each one of my sides was so painful. So there was a period of time where I didn't see any friends for like 4 or 5 months. I didn't want to leave my house. I wasn't going to dinners. I was just working. At the time, I actually like worked from home, and I traveled for work a bit too. So when I wasn't traveling for work, I just wasn't leaving the house. I also remember looking in the mirror and just melting down crying because I felt like my face looked disfigured. Like I was starting to have this identity crisis where I was looking in the mirror and the person looking back at me didn't look like who I thought I looked like. And it was this, I can't even explain the feeling. Like it was like I wasn't looking at myself in the mirror. It was the strangest feeling.
Which is even more isolating. Let alone that you're already alone by yourself in your room and then you don't recognize who's in the mirror. Like that's just even more isolating.
And a year before this, I guess it was kind of at the same time because when I stopped birth control, I also decided to stop being, I was on Prozac for 10 years, which it's so crazy because fast forward, we're now learning the correlation of birth control and anxiety and depression. And so many women who are on birth control are also prescribed anxiety and depression medication. And it was like very similar. It was prescribed, and like, I didn't see the correlation at the time because my parents are divorced. There was a lot of like court battles going on. It was like, so I thought it was from that, which I'm sure it was exacerbated by that, and I wasn't in therapy. So it was like birth control, anxiety and depression medication. So all at once when I was 24, I decided to get off both. So then fast forward going through the identity crisis.
Both at the same time too is a lot
I was
at
just
once.
like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm a very cold turkey person. So I was like, I'm done.
What's your birthday?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh my God,
April
of
23rd.
course you are.
May 14th.
Still a Taurus sister. I'm like
are.
a Taurus to the core. I'm like a bit
Do you know your big
stubborn.
three?
I'm like, I do. Hold on.
Okay.
I might have to
taking
check
you
it
on
on
a
my
loop
phone.
right
No,
now.
I love this. I'm Taurus. My Taurus Virgo. Now I need to look, guys.
The Virgo makes so much sense.
Business owner.
Boss
I know, guys. Now
bitch is always a Virgo.
No,
I
we must
like
pause to
it was
find
so
out.
funny learning the top 3 was like the most life-changing thing for me
Totally.
because I'm like, oh, I'm not alone in this world. There's
Yeah.
other girls like me.
Oh, yeah.
Taurus, Virgo, Leo. Yes.
Cool. Oh, I totally
Wow.
see that for you.
Wait, I
totally see
love
that for you.
all of that energy. What this makes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna be that bitch. I'm like, it makes so
No,
much
I
sense.
love. No, it's so fun.
It's a safe space on this podcast. We're astrology
Love it.
It's
girls.
Love it.
Yeah.
the most fun.
Yeah.
What's more fun than understanding yourself? Like,
That's what we say. If it's a tool to get to know yourself, fun.
Yeah.
If it isn't, leave it.
Yeah,
It
Like,
could
it's
be
not a
very
big
ha
deal.
ha he. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
no,
that deep.
I like
Yeah.
feeling like more understood and knowing there's other people that like see the world the same way I do. But
It's
then
sports. It's
Yes,
camaraderie.
exactly.
Yeah.
But then it's also
We're
so
the same team.
refreshing to know that other people truly to the core do not see the world the same way as you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's, I feel like a breath of fresh air
It's liberating.
because you want people to see the world. Like we, like as humans.
Welcome to Thoughts May Vary.
Yeah.
Here on the show, honey.
Wait,
Like,
guys,
you're preaching.
yeah,
Preach.
it's liberating to
is.
have the community and then know that without a doubt you will never convince someone to see the world the same way as you,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yep.
So I love
Love it.
that.
Okay, wait. You go cold
yes,
turkey.
You go cold
Yeah.
turkey. Yeah, so I went cold turkey. So fast forward to the identity crisis, not wanting to leave the house, didn't have my safety blanket of like my like anxiety and depression medication anymore. And it was a pretty dark time. And then really everything turned around when I met Danielle. I felt not alone for my acne because she had been through a very similar story, if not worse, because Danielle, like co-founder, has been through 3 rounds of Accutane. It took her longer. Like she had been dealing with this a lot longer, and that's why she started San Diego Acne Clinic, and then we started Clearstem together.
Did you find her word of mouth? Quick Google search. Like, how did you stumble?
It's funny
on her?
because I swear I Googled like acne specialist San Diego 5
Yeah.
billion times, and then
Yeah.
one day San Diego
Boom,
Acne
she's
Clinic
there.
popped up
was
at
a
the very
match.
top. I think it was her Yelp reviews. Is like this woman
Just
has
curious how you
insane
find
Yelp
good
reviews.
people, you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
It was just like Googling.
Cool.
And then I've since that, like even before we started Clearstem, I sent like every person I possibly knew to her because like so many women in San Diego were struggling with acne. Like people I was meeting, like yoga studio, out and about, you name it.
Well, it's hot, and we're like you said, wellness oriented. We're always
Exactly.
outside sweating, moving. Like
Yes.
it's easy to be pore clogged there.
Yeah,
Kinda,
I
you know.
exactly.
Dry.
Especially when we don't know like what products to use, what products not to
Exactly.
use. So I met her, and at the same time, I found a naturopath where I learned more about blood work, and I had so much inflammation going on. I had SIBO, candida. I had like the works because I didn't understand what any of those things were quite yet in my wellness journey, and then that was the huge turning point of not only changing the case for me, because then I had like a protocol to stick to. I had a plan. Like again, back to talking about like athletics. It's like I have a goal. I like just give me a goal and I will commit to it. Give me a protocol, commit to it. So I removed all pore cloggers from my skincare, makeup, hair care. So completely pore clogging free. I eliminated dairy, gluten, alcohol, and caffeine for a period of time. I think for about like 9 or 10 months, just during I was like very committed to my healing journey. And then I removed certain excess supplementation that was causing hormonal issues. Yeah, because there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So certain
100%.
supplements can trigger hormonal issues. So just got a baseline for everything. And my skin was completely clear in 2 months. But the most empowering part of all of it was understanding it. And then that's when this light switch went off. And I was like, more women need to know this. And this is my purpose in life, is to make sure that no one else has to go through the confusion, the alone feeling, the overwhelm, the frustration because of their acne, and they can actually have a set of tools and guidelines that explain root causes, and then they can make the action steps themselves. But we at least need to know what's causing that. Like, give me the checklist. And then I can choose if I want to eliminate gluten or dairy or alcohol, caffeine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone can make their own choice, but at least give people the checklist of knowing what are the biggest causes. And then they can choose and experiment and take whatever time they want. But that was it was just a light bulb went off. I was like, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do.
How cool.
That is, you just touched on probably one of my biggest frustrations just with the way that women's health is discussed in this country, because we're not even given the benefit of the doubt to understand our own bodies. And so we're not even given the time, care, respect to be taught any of it. And so I just really appreciate your ethos as a founder. And I'm grateful that people like you choose to start companies, because I think it's so invaluable. And even the conversation of birth control, it always makes me think about like, of course we should always have access to whatever is the best form of birth control for us, but no, like with the pill, be given the correct pamphlet of information of like just understanding what you're signing up for and being able to make the most informed decision for yourself in tandem with your doctor, rather than just being told like this is the thing that's gonna cure you. I'm curious, when you were going through those days of looking in the mirror and having like those debilitating emotions and feelings around it, was there anything throughout that healing journey that was helpful for you? I'm just thinking about the people listening that are feeling as if a flare-up is what dictates whether it's going to be a good or bad day.
Yeah.
Right? Was there any sort of like coping mechanism that you used during the time that was helpful for you?
That's a great question. And I'm trying to put myself in that old version of Kayleigh that was feeling that every day, because that old version, her acne was getting better, but there were still those flare-ups. Or even I got completely clear, and then I think it was like a year or two later, we had started Clearstem at this point, and because I found pictures on my phone of it the other day. I had like another crazy flare-up, and it was actually, this is so funny, and then I'll get to like the mental health tip. It was because I had just gotten a dog, and our dog's shampoo, the number one ingredient was coconut oil, and I was like nuzzling my face on his fur every day.
I'm running home to go check Mahal's.
So I had this like crazy, because
Can Clearstem make dog shampoo? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Mahal has acne cream.
literally.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I had this crazy new flare up like 2 or 3 years later, and we had Clearstem at this point. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like trying to figure out what it was. I was like, finally, it was my dog shampoo.
Wow.
No, me and my dog sleep like this.
Oh,
Are you
absolutely.
kidding?
Yeah, you're glowing. You're fine.
Of course, you're like rubbing your face in their fur at all times. They're on your pillow. Like, duh.
Wow.
So,
Whoa.
so after I got clear and re-had that flare up, I mean, that PTSD comes back really fast.
Totally.
What I really used as my North Star is I have my checklist. I know what it is. So I wasn't even focused on the current acne. It was more, I now have the checklist to evaluate how I can get rid of this faster and to avoid flare-ups. So I honestly just act like I empowered myself to act as my own detective. So versus rather than let it get me down and really mentally affect me as much, I switched it into fix-it mode. And I was like, let me be my own detective. Okay, I'm having a flare-up again. What could this be from? And instead of being like, oh my God, what can this be from? It was like, no. I'm like, I'm emotionally stable. I'm focused. I'm my own detective. Like, let's go through the checklist. And then that's when I found it. It's like my dog shampoo. I'm like, oh, perfect. Let's switch that out. Sure enough, the flare-up started to go down. So it's more about the empowering feeling of figuring it out for yourself with that North Star of the checklist, and then knowing that you can get rid of it faster. And products help with that too. Like now, if I ever have a flare-up for whatever reason, I'm like, maybe I just really want that cheese pizza 3 times in a week.
Totally.
You know, whatever it is, or, you know, like there's always those things. You know, maybe I get my makeup done professionally and I'm just like not as worried about pore cloggers, and I'm just like, have at it, do whatever you want, and then I like deal with a little flare up. So now it's just about how can I fade it the fastest with topical products, and that's when you bring in the exfoliation, you bring in like I'll use our pregame mask like immediately after having my makeup done. I'll have our Clarity serum, which dissolves the clogs. Then I use our Cell Renew serum, which is our acne scar and calming serum, so that'll help fade the pigmentation faster. So I kind of just have my little recipe book of products of how to make things fade faster if a flare-up does happen.
Sherlock Holmes that bitch.
Yes. So like
that.
switching it to an empowered feeling rather than a disempowered feeling.
Yeah.
Be my detective, and now I have my products that I know will help fade it faster. Double check I didn't incorporate any new makeup products that could have a pore clogger. And the sneaky thing, any favorite products that didn't have pore cloggers that they reformulate, and they don't need to tell you they reformulate.
Just talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
20 minutes ago, we were just talking about
Yeah,
this.
they can just reformulate, not tell you. So if you're like, for example, if you're breaking out in the exact line that your bronzer is in, that's typically not digestion. Like you can do the face mapping where it's like my kidneys, my intestines.
Right.
But if it's literally the line that your bronzer is in, it's probably your bronzer. And so even if you've used it, because like this is what we get from people. Well, I've used this for 10 years. It's never broken me out. Sure enough, we check updated ingredients. It now is pore cloggers. So just start externally first and look at those pathways of where the acne is. If it's all over your face, it could be a product you're putting all over your face, or if it's like pustule, aggressive, where it's like, oh my God, no, this is something internal. That's different. But you still want to eliminate the external cause of pore cloggers first before you dive into the internal.
Hey everyone, popping in to say thank you to all of the amazing people who listen and watch this podcast. We're so grateful for each and every one of you and truly cannot say thank you enough for tuning in every single week.
In order for us to keep bringing you all great conversations and continue building our community and raising the bar, we're asking you for some simple and free support. Subscribe to our channel, follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and keep up with us on social at Thoughts May Vary Pod.
And if you're looking to dive even deeper, you can join our exclusive Patreon community and download Co-Create, our digital manifestation journal filled with over 150 prompts to help guide your curiosity and unlock new layers of yourself.
Thanks for being here. Okay, I have a question about the checklist.
Yes.
So we know that in the intersection of skincare and mental health, gut health is also in that intersection play. Is there something like a behavior or daily action or something you eliminate? Is there like a key thing that you feel like looking at your gut health, you've radically shifted that's made a big impact?
Morning routine and like what I'm eating or drinking.
The way that I have a 2-hour time block for my morning routine,
I love.
Please walk me
sets
through
the
in
tone.
every minute detail what you do. I'm not even kidding.
Our favorite thing in the entire
It
world.
sets the tone
Favorite
today.
question.
So this has transitioned so many times. Like I used to
Fair.
have a crazy long routine. It's actually a lot shorter now, but I think your morning routine
more
should
accessible,
change.
frankly.
Yeah, it changes for
100%.
seasons in life. Like now I have like 8 hours of meetings and a lot of stuff going on. So before I'd have like 2 meetings a day and then it was a lot of email work. So I was just more flexible. I do operate a little more within the standard work hours than I used to. Like the first 3 years of Clearstem, I'm like working whenever I want to get it done. Now I can't do that for employees. I can't be like, hop on a meeting at 10 p.m. at night with me. It's no longer my own schedule. So I work within more of the confines of the normal work hours for the benefit of our employees and not driving them crazy. Keeping their mental health in check. So now my morning routine is definitely more simplified, but the biggest things I focus on, sleep is number one. I am like psychotic about my sleep.
How many hours?
For me to feel my best, it's like 8 or 9.
Girl,
I'm like, it's
Tauruses.
Tauruses.
We could fucking sleep forever.
I could just lay in bed all day. Like it's an effort for me to get up. I thought this would change as I became more of an adult. I'm like, maybe after 30, I will be a morning person. And then I just realized Tauruses are never, no, we are just the same.
I think about that a lot.
The stress I get thinking about having kids, guys, like.
That's all I talk about is how
I don't
am I
like
supposed
waking
to,
up in the morning.
I can't give away, but
no, I think about this all the time. Can I just tell you that I just like we're in our workout, fun fit, hot era. And part of the reason that I started like this intense workout routine was for a lot of reasons. I've always craved, I'm a very all or nothing.
Yes, I feel that.
That's not sustainable. So I was really craving consistency and these people have heard me talk about it. So I will get to the point. But the point is that I was like, okay, I really want to become a morning workout person because when I'm a mom in fucking 5 to 10 years, like I want to, like, who knows what my kid's schedule is going to be when they're fucking, in school. And I have
course.
To, again, nowhere near
They
happening.
miss their bus and you have to drive them at 6:40
So, like,
a.m. I'm not even awake at 6:40 a.m.
So I was like, I'm going to be a morning workout person. So when I have kids, I can be, waking up at 5 to go to the gym and then I'm back before the So I started being an evening, making sure that my evening workout schedule is really good. So that the only thing I have to shift is I already have the routine. Now I'm just shifting it to the morning. Thank you for illuminating the fact that it's probably never going to change because I've been really beating myself up about this.
You don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Erin and I have talked about this a lot because Erin is like classic men produce testosterone at 5 a.m. and wakes up with energy and runs and stuff.
Yeah.
My boyfriend,
and I
not me.
have to work out because I think for women, especially in the afternoon, it's like in order for me to put away work and come into myself in the evening to get embodied brings me out of my head and into my body. So it's the perfect transition. Like I get to prioritize my sleep. It helps me get embodied for my night routine. It just makes more sense.
Okay,
makes more
so
sense.
we're digressing again too, because 2 seconds on that. One of the biggest things I've been talking about recently is the embodiment, like transition period between like masculine and feminine energy. Because I've been masculine all day, but then I don't want to be in masculine in the evening with my boyfriend.
No,
Like my transition period is like cooking, like I need to get back in my body. Because
all the sensory
I literally
stuff.
leave my body during the day and I have to get back into it, or I'm like annoyed and agitated and like, why didn't you take out the trash? Like that's not being in the feminine. So like,
Girl, the way
that
I have to ask you
period.
about like 7 books offline.
I love this. Like we need to just talk about this. I'm like, screw acne next time. We're talking about
Come
this.
back and we will do that. Yeah. Are you kidding?
So I need sleep. I'm like a 10 to 7 a.m. kind of person. Like, yes, I'll wake
my
up.
That's fine.
Literally same.
That's the most ideal for me. It's how I feel my best. I don't want to wake up before 7.
Yeah.
I will. Like this morning, I was up at 6:40 because like I had certain things to get ready for the day, but not ideal.
Yeah.
So I need my 8 to 9 hours of sleep to feel my best. And
on
then
my period, it's 10.
Oh, literally. Yes.
On my period, I'm
yes.
not waking up.
Yeah. Actually. And then the morning, I'm like a slow waker upper. So I'll wake up at 7, but I probably won't get out of bed till like 7:30.
Yeah.
And then I'll get up and then I have like my warm water with lemon and I like drink almost my like big mason jar full of water and I'm kind of just like roaming. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm waking up, I'm chit-chatting, I'm walking around the house. I'm like, I have 2 cats. I'm like playing with my cats. I'm just like kind of waking up. I'm on a peptide protocol right now. So I'm doing peptide injections right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, for some of them are for gut. And then I'm trying a round of beauty ones, which I think are really fun because I don't get Botox or filler. Like the only treatments I do are microneedling.
Girl, the way that like everything you're hitting today is
We were
what
just
we've
talking
been
about 20 minutes ago.
talking
Yeah.
So
about.
I've been I want to
Need a
try out
rec
peptides.
for
Yeah.
microneedling if you
Yeah,
have one.
I have a great rec for microneedling. And then I'll do like toning devices and stuff like that.
Do you have a zip?
Yes, I just got the zip.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have one too.
I
I'd
zip.
love to get into that later.
Yes.
Sorry,
Red
the way
light,
that
zip,
I'm like
microneedling. Yes. So I got these 4 peptides to put myself on a protocol for like the next 90 days that help with like increasing collagen production and like all different things. So I'm like, I want to see if I like notice a difference. I mean, they're all repair proteins of your body, so there's no real like downside to them. So I'm on that peptide. So I'll do my peptide injections and then I work out. And then my boyfriend and I go for a coffee walk. Cute. And then I start my work day.
Cool.
But it's like that's our time to connect too. Because again, once the day starts, it's like we work right by each other because we have our garage built out into an office. But we are like
worlds
calls,
away.
meetings, like a million. And so
Yeah.
we're not connecting.
Yeah.
So our coffee walk in the morning is the time like I don't have my phone on me and we just get to like chat and walk. And sometimes it's even just a silent walk, but we're next to each other. It's just like in our energy walk.
Yep.
And sometimes our brains are just like starting for the day and thinking about things, but we're in each other's energy. And then get back and get in front of my computer and then like the day starts from there. And then my evening transition is cooking dinner of like getting back in my body.
Oh my,
glorious.
wow.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Like,
we
no
would all
wonder
be
I could have
great
that day
roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tori's
exactly.
sister.
Same
But
exact
I
day
used
in
to do
life.
the journaling and the meditate. Like I had so many morning practices that I tested, and I do think like there's different ones for different periods of life. Like I'm not in a meditating period of life. I'm not in a journaling period of life. I actually notice I journal when I'm like really struggling with things in life. Like if you look, it's like my journals are only like really intense
Processing
processing periods. But now that I'm in therapy very regularly, I just don't find, I'm like, why would I journal and therapy? I feel like therapy is my mental journaling or verbal journaling.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
absolutely.
No, what I love, I mean, so many things about you, but what I'm really enjoying is that I think a lot of times these conversations about wellness and, you know, even root causes, and I think of like naturopaths and finding like doctors that are, is internist a word that I'm making up? And what is it? The word that
integrative.
Yeah.
Integrative, yeah.
so expensive, so hard to find. Like it's so inaccessible for so many people. So even if we're scaling that all the way back, just talking about a morning routine, I think it can feel unbelievably inaccessive and ridiculous for somebody to be like, you have to meditate and journal and do all these things. And they're like, yeah, I have 3 kids and I'm a single mom and I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Like I have 15
I
minutes
get
on the best
overwhelmed
day of my
watching
life.
Get Ready With Me like mornings. Like literally remove my like peptide injections, which is my like insane wellness thing I'm doing. Not it's not insane. I mean like my
Fun
my like
and
fun like
experimental.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
You
It's like my
deserve it. Do
experiment
whatever. Yeah.
that I'm like doing for 3 months. I wouldn't call like peptides injection like the most accessible thing possible.
no,
So
no.
it's like that's what I mean.
Thank you for
like
the caveat.
yeah. So other than that, I'm like I'm getting my sleep. I'm waking up and having my warm water with salt, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, shower, I'm having my thing of water, I'm working out at home. Like I don't even go to a gym to do it. I just do a workout at home and I go on a coffee
workouts
walk.
are fucking
I'm like, I can't drive to a gym. I won't do it's like too much time out of the day. And then I just go on a coffee walk and then I start work. That's really all I need right now.
Can I give you the weirdest compliment of all time?
Sure.
Like the whole time.
I'm excited.
It's really weird. Respectfully. The whole time you've been talking, I'm like, one, I believe what you're saying, but like sitting in front of you and like one of the indicators I'm like, oh, I trust what you're saying is like you have the healthiest tongue I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Like color of my tongue?
Yeah.
Wait,
like you're talking and I'm like,
you know when
I'm
people like
obsessed with this.
don't scrape their tongue or
Yeah.
have white tongues? Or I was like, you've been talking. I'm like, oh, I know she's
Clean
on her
tongue.
health game because your tongue is gorgeous.
Wait, guys, I've such
Weirdest
a
compliment I've ever given, but I mean
I'm
it with
so
my
obsessed
whole
with
heart.
that comment, and
Love
also I have
that.
the funniest thing to say about that because I am like my goal in life is to get everyone to scrape their tongue.
I don't understand.
People who don't in this economy at this day and age, fucking scrape your tongue.
Once you start, tell me, do one day and tell me you
freak
can't
out,
go back.
guys.
what I'm
This
saying, you can't
morning,
go back.
I just got back from traveling, so like all of my skincare is still in my travel bag, and I couldn't find my tongue scraper, and I was like
using a
hyperventilating.
towel.
Dude, guys, I've done that before. Don't
There you go.
don't even. I've done that before because I'm like.
Get it
it
off. Get it off.
Get it off. And it's so funny. My team was like one of the girls on my team was asking me about this the other day because she was like, I'm editing a video of you talking about tongue scraping, and she was like, I've never heard of this before. What are the scientific benefits? I'm like, don't even get me started.
You
And
sent
I'm
a
like-
dissertation?
Actually, I like sent her so many things. I was like, in short, you're drinking down your toxins that have collected on your tongue throughout the night. And then she was like, this sounds woo woo. And I was like, okay, I need to go deeper.
Yeah.
And so I sent her, I'm like, it's an Ayurvedic practice, and it is clinically shown that throughout the night when your body's going through a detoxification process, it comes up through your mouth, it collects on your tongue. And so if you don't scrape it off in the morning, the first time you're drinking water, you are just going to drink it back down. Dentists are way ahead of the game. Dentists talk
Right.
about this all the
Yes.
time,
Right, of
how like
course, yeah.
how
Yes.
plaque and all the gunk on your tongue can be one of the leading causes of heart disease.
Yeah.
So they are like well ahead of the tongue scraping game.
Okay, that checks out. My boyfriend, like, yes, he was the one that put me onto this.
I love.
Was it
And
really?
Yes, big
didn't know
dentist
that.
person. And so,
Great. Love that for him.
I know.
Love that for him. Did not know.
yeah, I want to talk to you about PCOS.
Okay. Yes.
I got diagnosed when I was 16. Typical, we're going to put you on birth control. I wasn't really struggling with any sort of acne, none of that. It was just, this is what's happening to your body. We're going to put you on birth control. I said, okay.
How did you get diagnosed? What were the I guess
I was
what were your
having
symptoms?
crazy bad periods.
Okay.
And really, really, really painful. And that, frankly, honestly, candidly, just intersected with the time that I was about to start having sex.
Yeah.
And so my mom and I had that talk, and she was like, okay, we need to take you to the gynecologist. And she put me on birth control, and like, I didn't.
Because
I
of PCOS or because you want to become sexually active?
Because of PCOS, and
Okay.
probably both. I think
Okay.
it was like a happy win-win for
Okay.
everybody, and
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
Yeah,
because
of
I had,
course.
no idea, and I was like, perfect, amazing, great. Fast forward, pandemic hits. I had been recommended a book by Alyssa Vitti by a friend of mine. Called In the Flow, and she was like, you need to read this, and I'd been putting it off because I knew that it was going to lead me to want to get off the pill.
Of course.
And I didn't want to. I was working at a magazine in New York. I was very girl boss era, and I was
Yep.
like, I don't have time to deal with my
No,
fucking hormones. Like,
Totally.
sorry.
Yeah, you're like, can't fit this into my schedule right now.
Right.
Yep.
But also at the time, by the way, I had gone at this point through probably 4 different doctors being like, I have no sex drive, my mental health, like I feel like I'm just here.
Yep.
Nothing makes me happy, nothing makes me sad. They're like, sorry, it's your only thing. Like it's, if you don't want to have PCOS symptoms, like this is the only thing.
To stay on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The very typical,
Of course.
response.
You have no
So there's
options.
no
No
there's no other options.
Fast forward, I get off the pill. Obviously, my body freaks out in a million different ways.
Yep.
And I really started breaking out a lot. And what I noticed was I found, if we're just talking about the skin stuff, I noticed kind of being stuck in this cycle of I didn't even have the like luxury of being like, what products are going to make my skin awesome? I was sort of living in this dance of what companies can I trust and who's not going to make it worse.
Yeah. Yep.
What I really like about Clearstem is that I have no qualms recommending it to people because I trust the company.
Universally.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, not only is this not going to make it worse, it's going to help.
Yeah.
And it has really changed my skin in a way that I feel. So we were talking offline, like I don't feel like I have to go down this rabbit hole of
Yeah.
trying to find all these ingredients of what's not going to fuck up my skin or whatever.
No,
to
I
just-
literally watched the transformation on your face and was like, okay, so hook it up. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you
No,
doing?
like when I tell you this is
and
like,
you already had nice skin, let's be clear.
thank you. I
But
had
there
great
was
texture. I had good like
There was a
collagen
2-month
texture
period
whatever.
where all of a sudden I was like, you are radiant in a next level way.
Thank you. So anyway, I just wanted to give that caveat, but I was wondering if you could give us like a little schooling in terms of hormonal acne stuff. I know we talked about the the pore cloggers.
Yeah.
Are there any ingredients like by the name that people that deal with hormonal acne or have PCOS or all this type of stuff can look at quickly on the back of a bottle and be like, yes, no?
Absolutely. So are we talking about pore cloggers? Let's talk about internal and external?
Sure.
Okay. Because I do feel like so many women are struggling with PCOS right now. And I do think, this is my thesis, this is by no means like confirmed medically.
Love a thesis.
Yeah.
Hypothesis.
I think women who are diagnosed with PCOS, not all women actually have PCOS.
I've had this conversation with my
yeah,
doctor,
and
by
then
the way.
but then like placebo effect, you also start to like assume the story of you have PCOS, and then you get into a PCOS spiral, and then it's like a whole thing. I say that because when I was 24, it was right before I got off everything. I had a very stressful job at work. I had ended up getting a slip disc in my back, which was like so painful.
Yeah.
And because I was in so much pain and my job was so stressful and I still had to be in the office, I was taking Advil all day, every day, which then developed stomach ulcer. It was like this whole like just really weird period of time that left me continually going to the hospital. And I was having these insane stomach pains. This is pre-ulcers, but insane stomach pains. And I went to the doctor and they did ultrasounds, did all the things, and they diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian syndrome. At this point, no one was calling it PCOS. So they said this really long word, polycystic ovarian syndrome, to a 23-year-old. And I am like, I'm spiraling. I told my dad and my mom they were spiraling because there's no education around this. Fast forward, everyone does have like cysts on their ovaries, and there's some things that you're doing lifestyle wise that increase those cysts that you then go to the doctor and they diagnose you with PCOS, but in reality it was lifestyle factors that were adding these cysts that can go away if you change the lifestyle factors.
Which, by the way, like the cysts are a part of it. It's not even the determining factor, but it's a hormonal.
Yes, exactly.
Which
so
I also didn't know.
They were
it's
just
named incorrectly.
They were just determining it by the cysts. They were doing an ultrasound, seeing a bunch of cysts, and then just saying I had PCOS.
Yeah.
And so it made me realize how many women got diagnosed that way.
Right.
Instead of maybe a more legitimate way with the hormonal testing, all of that, but that wasn't done. So I do think there is a whole category of women who are misdiagnosed when there should be these lifestyle shifts. So fast forwarding to your question of what are those things that we can look at that are, should we say, making hormonal acne worse? Like those things that we should just say no to? Do we feel like, does that feel like the right question to answer? Okay, so like the external part we did talk about are the pore cloggers, and the top ones to look at within clean beauty, because clean does not mean acne safe.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clean does not mean acne safe. Organic coconut oil will just create organic pimples. Like it's organic, like it's still gonna, it's the same thing. Yeah. So the top clean ones are coconut oil, shea butter, big algae derivatives. Those are some of the big ones. There's more because there's so many oils out there. Like flaxseed oil is a new one that's like emerging.
2 questions in that. I, in my everyday use Paula's Choice Beautypia ingredient checker and Sophie Pavitt's.
I think it's a good combo.
Okay, because you said the scale is subjective.
Yes,
Are those
exactly.
two that you ever turn to check ingredients as well?
We do have our own checker. So
I didn't even know that. Oh, God, thank God. Okay,
yeah, so if you go on our website under resources, it's our pore clogging ingredients checker.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I'm sure similarly to those lists, you can just go to a product page, click full ingredient deck, copy it, paste it into our checker, click check, and it'll show up red for the specific ingredient. So you'll even know
at
what
a
specific
0 scale level.
Yes, at a 0 scale level.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see so that's what we tell everyone to do
That's such
first.
an interesting marker to figure out who's more subjective too. Like it's a baseline. I love that. Okay, thank you.
So it's like the first thing to do is basically sit down at your computer, lay out all your skincare, makeup, and when it comes to hair care, just conditioner and like leave-in products is what you want to focus on. Like a dry shampoo, like that's fine. It's at the root level, and dry shampoo typically doesn't have it.
Cream.
Yeah, check like a cream, like a cream like leave-in and hair conditioner.
Okay.
So you'll just basically want to like put those all in front of you, go to each of their websites. I suggest going to their websites versus a Sephora or Ulta because those aren't updated as much, but the website is the most up-to-date ingredient deck.
Okay.
I'm the biggest proponent of if you have to search too long for a full ingredient deck, you probably shouldn't. Like, have you ever been to a website and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
I literally
It's confusing
can't.
for a reason.
I've had to Google it because it's like not found on the product page, which is not cool. But if they're trying to
sus.
hide
Yeah.
a full ingredient deck, that's already telling you something right then and there.
Yeah.
So you should find it very quickly. Like you should be looking at like the little menu bar product page where it's like directions, why you love it, full ingredient deck should be right there. Don't be fooled by key ingredients. That's only like the ones they want to market to you. So copy and paste the full ingredient deck into our checker, and that'll just show you if it pops, if any of the ingredients pop up red, you know, like let's say your moisturizer, like 3 of the ingredients pop up red, which means they're pore cloggers. Let's swap out your moisturizer. So that'll tell you like from your current lineup, what is causing your acne externally.
Okay.
Make swaps for those. That way, moving forward, as you address the internal, you know that nothing you're putting on your skin is adding to it. So like now you can get to the deep work internally. So for some of those internal things, we want to look at when we do an audit of your day of what you're ingesting that isn't whole food related. So let's look at supplements, let's look at powders, whether it's colostrum, green powder, protein powder, a bar on the go, a pre-made like protein shake you're running out of the house with. So let's do an audit of those and the things you want to look for. Excess supplementation that causes testosterone spikes.
Yeah.
So that is vitamin D, zinc, and B12.
Which is back to the too much of a good thing, baby.
Yep,
'Cause
exactly.
we know those
all
have
of these are
benefits
great.
too,
Yeah,
but
they're all like vitamin D, because you'll see like what supplements are good for acne, and zinc always comes up, but it's like in moderation.
Right.
When we're taking excess amounts of vitamin D, zinc, and B12, we are stimulating testosterone, which means you can be self-inducing, creating a hormonal imbalance.
And by excessive, do we mean anything above daily value?
Let's see. So vitamin D, it's like kind of around 150%, which with the I think B12 is like above 300%, and vitamin D and zinc above 150.
See, isn't that even in and of itself confusing?
I know, because then there's like D is fat soluble, which means it doesn't leave your body, which means it builds up in your body. So then like it's compounding versus water soluble. So, and then we put the little asterisk every time we like give those percentage recommendations. We put the asterisk like, we are not doctors that are analyzing your own personal levels. If you got blood work and you're on a protocol, like,
of course,
that's different. This is just like what we've seen when we've seen people taking excess. And actually, it's usually they're taking a lot more than that. Because, like, I mean, have you seen like a protein powder that has like a 40 list ingredient that like they want to put every supplement and vitamin nutrient under the sun in the protein? They're just trying to like make everything a one size fits all. Like the green powder needs to have everything you could possibly ever need in it. You might be taking a greens powder, and then what if you're taking a multivitamin, and then you're also taking a protein powder, and it's just like it's just too much. And then you're taking standalone. So just doing an audit of like where all these supplements are compounding and where you're having it like 5 times in a day. Like you literally could be having vitamin D in your multivitamin, in your immune shot, like little like shot thing you take in the morning. It could be in your protein powder, your green powder, your coffee creamer, like everything. So you want to take an audit of all of those. So so that was vitamin D, B12, and zinc in excess amounts. You want to check for biotin. People who are acne prone automatically know to stay away from biotin. Again, I don't want to vilify biotin because some people it works well, but for the acne prone, because genetically, if someone is struggling with acne, it's because they hyperproduce keratin, and biotin also causes hyperproduction of keratin, which basically means your skin grows over faster, which means your pores clog faster.
Wow.
So it's just clogging it's growing that skin over too fast.
Especially if you're not doing the exfoliation or the retinol.
Exactly. So biotin, if you're acne prone, just to avoid, we love alternatives to that. Love silica, love MSM sulfur. Those will give you the same hair, skin, and nail support without the breakouts.
Thoughts?
Yes and no. Not for every day. One, the quality and sourcing freaks me out.
Totally.
So if you can find one where you are like so trusted that it is collagen from grass-fed, pasture-raised, all the things, because I don't want to absorb what was in essentially like the nutrients in the bones of an animal that was eating like shit. Like I don't want that in my body. So
no, the sourcing is
but we have seen excess amounts of collagen start to cause like little bumps on the skin. So if someone really loves collagen, it's just like just do, and you're breaking out like 3 days a week. Like just pull back a little bit. It's just because people are doing like triple. They're like, I need more collagen. It's gonna
crazy.
make my skin better, and then they're taking like 5 times daily amounts. So I'm okay with that it's like a within moderation thing. And then the food things to look at, the first thing would be dairy and whey. So whether you're like after the gym grabbing a shake and you have never asked what protein powder they're using and they're using whey, whey can cause really aggressive acne on your face and your back. So if you guys see a lot of bodybuilders that have a ton of back acne, they are just going crazy with whey protein powder. And they could be doing testosterone injections and things like that too. So already increasing it. But you want to check for whey and dairy. And I always recommend for anyone that's currently struggling with acne, just eliminate dairy for a month. Let everything just calm down.
Don't even fucking look at me right now. Don't even fucking look at me.
You can bring it back in. Just like take a like. Just
You
take a
might
month
not
break.
be able to though, because I microdosed my way back up to having half and half of my coffee. Everyone here knows this, and it was the best thing that's ever
Dude,
happened
I
to
feel
me.
you. No, I'm like
Best thing that ever happened to
I'm
me.
back to eating dairy every once in a while, and I didn't eat dairy for like 10 years. And I've experimented with putting cream in my coffee, and it is
doesn't
luxury.
it changes your entire fucking. Speaking of
It's
a morning
changed
routine,
my life.
Yeah.
Putting dairy
Yeah.
back in my coffee.
but I was
I'm talking to
gaslighting
everyone.
myself because I can't do it anymore. But I found a coffee that I like black, which liberated me. Anyway,
So I go on and off the cream.
Thank you for feeling that
because
for me.
yes,
Yeah.
no, I was like, this is dessert. This
No,
should
no,
be
no.
illegal. This should be how good it tastes.
it's melted coffee ice cream. Like
I'm
the
literally
real,
having ice
like
cream
a
for
Strauss
breakfast.
organic half and half.
I mean, I know.
Stop.
No, I feel you. So I now, because my skin, like I've gotten my skin clear, I'm like the detective of my acne, all good. So I will incorporate dairy when I really want it, but I will get
So
on,
happy for you.
I'll get on cream. I'll get on cream kicks, and then I'll have to take a break because I'll like I can't do it every other day. I will do it every day, and then 2 cups of coffee, and then I'm like re-addicted to the dairy.
Yeah, right.
Because
Exactly.
it's addicting.
Yeah.
It is. And then I'll have like I'm like taking a break from cream now because I went too hard last month.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, skin's looking a little dull. Like it'll just if you don't break out, because it'll take me like a week to break out from dairy now because I exfoliate a lot, so that's helpful. And I take our MINDBODYSKIN supplement, which helps from the dairy breakouts, which is
I
great.
was just gonna say
Yeah.
because we haven't tried that one yet.
Oh my
We've
God, I
tried
got
almost
you guys.
everything but that, so we want to talk about it.
Can we talk about that for a
Please,
second
yeah.
though, because it's on the conversation of PCOS. So I can't say it helps with PCOS because obviously it's making a very medical claim. But what I will say is our community that has PCOS has expressed how much it has helped with their symptoms.
We're talking skincare, baby.
We know that I have PCOS, and finding products that work for me that are without pore clogging ingredients is a must. And we have found the company that has made this so simple, so easy. We're talking Clearstem. And what I love about them the most is how transparent they are about their ingredients.
And how accessible they make acne information. Like they've truly been such a great resource, especially their pore clogging ingredient checker. But I want to know a couple of your favorite products, and then I want to tell you a couple of mine.
Because I have a couple. I mean, they're all so good, and I'm really truly just not saying that.
Top
Okay,
two.
top 2.
If you had to say 2 faves,
All right.
yeah.
I am obsessed with the Cell Renew serum, which has specifically been really, really helpful in helping to regulate my hormonal acne. It's an anti-acne, anti-aging stem cell serum that regenerates your skin. And okay, this next one is actually the first product that I ever tried. And wow, the bounce back serum. Oh my God. It's a triple peptide serum with collagen stem cells. And it's been so helpful in plumping up those fine lines and wrinkles that we know have just gotten so much more deep after moving to Los Angeles. Thank you so much for the weather here. And by the way, I drown anything that goes on my face goes on my neck and on my hands. So like I just drown my whole body in these products. Wait, what are you loving right now?
Okay, I obviously use those 2 in cosign, but this is fun because I have different ones. Like if you wanted to start getting your foot in the door with just one product with them, I would say Clarity.
Oh, yeah.
It's an AHA mandelic acid serum that also has vitamin C, and it stimulates collagen production. I think it's the perfect mix of gentle but effective. And the other one that I'm loving right now, Kayleigh, one of the founders of Clearstem, lovingly tore my skincare routine to shreds. And I've been doing everything she has said for the past 3 weeks, and it's radically transformed my skin. So I'm really in my like heal my skin barrier era right now. And so Hydra Berry It's their like delicious thick
Mm,
moisture mask. It's a
it's
mask
really
actually,
good.
but I use it as a moisturizer and it is just really giving me my glow back and helping diminish the outbreaks that I was doing by over exfoliating.
Wow.
So those are my
I love
go-tos.
that for you because you were a little scared of going thicker with the moisturizer, and look what's happening.
I was. And again, she tore me to shreds and dragged me, and it has changed my life, and my skin is so much better for it. So I'm so grateful. Again, education, baby. Like that knowledge is power.
So if you are interested in trying out any of Clearstem's products, go to clearstem.com. That's CLEARSTEM.com. Or you can click the link in the show notes and make sure to use code THOUGHTS, THOUGHTS, for 15% off your order.
Thank you, Clearstem. We love you.
We love you. Okay,
Yeah.
so break that down for me.
Yeah. So our Mind Body Skin supplement was truly 10 years of research.
Yeah.
Because it was a passion project for so long. So Danielle and I would get people clear. We'd also for 10 years would send like 10 years of her running her clinic. And when we met, we'd be sending people out to get blood work done where it was clear that their acne was internal. It's like she got them so far at San Diego Acne Clinic, or we got them so far with Clearstem, and we're almost there, but it was very clear something internal was going on. So we had these different blood work specialists that we would send people to. And then we would talk to these blood work specialists about the patterns that they're seeing. They would show us their blood work. So for literally 10 years, we'd see the same patterns in people with acne over and over and over again. And we create a supplement for those patterns.
Cool.
So the first ingredient is bioavailable vitamin A. Bioavailable vitamin A actually helps your skin exfoliate at a proper rate. So with people that never break out,
Internal exfoliation. I didn't
yes.
even know that was
yeah.
a thing.
So vitamin A, internal exfoliation.
up.
Yeah.
I'm
So
freaking out right now.
People who never break out, their skin just exfoliates and sheds at a
Right.
normal level, so their pores don't get clogged as fast.
Okay.
With people who are more acne prone and struggling with that process, it gives the bioavailable vitamin A gives that process a boost, and so it just allows your skin to naturally be shedding at a correct rate.
And that's what, 30 days? Isn't there like a window of time that your cellular turnover is supposed to happen?
I
don't
forget
know.
because there's a lot of there's like cellular turnover, and then there's the
And that might
shedding
be
of
a
the
blanket
skin, and then
statement.
there's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like the shedding of the skin, like almost every single day you have like dead skin cells like
For
coming
sure.
off. So that's an ongoing process of your body. So bioavailable vitamin A. Then we have DIM.
Okay.
DIM is really important for estrogen. So DIM helps your body filter out the estrogen that doesn't belong. So especially people who are struggling with estrogen dominance, phytoestrogens, which are like the fake estrogens that come from environmental, really poor water sourcing, toxic foods, like a lot of preservatives that we're eating, products that we're putting on our skin that have endocrine disruptors. And so the DIM is helping with that. Then we have B5, which helps your body metabolize testosterone. So this is where it's been really helpful with people with PCOS because they're already struggling with elevated levels of testosterone and maybe elevated levels that their bodies don't know what to do with. And then unknowingly, they could be doing other things that spike their testosterone. Like they could be taking too much B12, vitamin D, zinc. They could be doing too many HIIT workouts where they're just like killing their hormones. So B5 helps your body metabolize that testosterone and actually utilize it, which is why Mind Body Skin can be used by both men and women because it'll actually help men utilize their testosterone better too. Then we have liver support and inflammation support. So we have milk thistle.
Love a milk thistle.
I know we have turmeric, and so we have a bunch of things that help your liver and help inflammation within your body. And then glutathione also. That also is like helpful for the liver too. So we're essentially helping with all of those root causes of acne for the masses. And of course there is that even further bioindividuality where it's like they could be living in a house with mold, they could be dealing with parasites, like that's the next layer of things. And we actually have blood work testing for that. So
No way.
Yeah, so we have our acne lab test where people can get blood work done to actually determine the even more intricate root cause of their acne. I'd say that's for the people that they went through the pore clogging check on our website, they eliminate everything. They went through the supplements, they went through the food triggers, they switched out all their products. They are on the supplement and they're like, it's helped 80% of the way, but there's still something going on. That's where I'd recommend doing the blood work because that's going to be so bio-individual for people that it's not safe to take certain supplements without blood work.
Okay.
So there's more supplements that we can actually absolutely recommend for acne, but we'd have to see blood work first. I don't want people like going rogue.
For sure.
If you're taking supplements for certain hormonal imbalances without knowing which hormones are out of balance. Like DIM and B5 are safe for the masses in that component, but example like a Vitex berry or like different things like that actually have hormonal implications, like you should not be taking unless you've done the blood work to determine the root cause of the hormonal imbalance and then go
Isn't
deeper.
That ashwagandha too? Can't ashwagandha, like everyone loves it for anxiety relief, but isn't it like
it can stimulate testosterone in high
right?
amounts.
It can affect your hormones.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay, wait, with the supplement though.
Yes.
Because I know we're talking about it being safe for the masses. Is there some sort of checklist though that you think that the consumer of that specific product should go through before? Like is it a product that's like not for a specific type of person?
Yeah.
Usually, so people who have there's some women out there that are dealing with no estrogen, and those women already know they should not be having DIM. Like I literally got a DM the other day of like, hey, I'm dealing with 0 estrogen right now, so I wish I could take the MINDBODYSKIN supplement to help my acne, but I can't. So what else would you recommend? And I so I like chatted with her, and there's blood work you can get done. So it's like low estrogen is not the root cause. There is a root cause to why your estrogen is low, and that's what you want to focus on, and that's what can be determined through blood work. So I gave her some lifestyle recommendations, but I was like, I can't give you any recommendations to increase estrogen because I don't know why your estrogen is low. So I don't want to give you recommendations.
I was just going to say, I really just appreciate how straightforward you are with this. Because like even in the same vein of like the way you market is a certain ingredient and this and that, like you guys always say education is your first.
Yes.
And I find it so refreshing and so needed. And
thank you.
Really, I know, again, overplayed fucking word, but like so authentic.
No, but
I appreciate it.
It's really nice.
I not only ruined my hormones for a period of time, but I've seen it happen to so many other women by experimenting with supplements that you shouldn't have been experimenting with because you are like grasping at anything you can. Like Vitex berry. Like I messed up my hormones taking Vitex berry because I heard that it was really good for hormone balancing. So I was like, oh, my hormones are imbalanced. Self-diagnosed. My hormones are imbalanced. I should take this. And I actually caused a crazy huge flare up in my skin. But come to find out, and I'm totally gonna mix this up with Vitex berry because I just like I put it in like I don't even I don't recommend it to anyone, so I put it out of my brain. I can't remember if it's a progesterone blocker or stimulator, but it does one of the two, and like I messed up my hormones because I did that. But there's a few supplements that do that are just rogue on like Instagram and TikTok, where people are like, take this to balance your hormones, and you don't even know what hormones to balance. Right. And if you just look at symptoms, like let's say I'm like, I think I have high testosterone because I looked at the symptoms and I match all these symptoms. That might not be true. Like you still need to do blood work, and then okay, let's say your blood work does come back high testosterone, you should not be just taking as testosterone suppressant because there's a reason why your testosterone is high. Yeah. So like so many women are getting put on spironolactone right now. If your testosterone is high, that doesn't equal let's take a medication to suppress it.
Right.
Because it's like, why is testosterone high? Let's fix the why to it, not just like cover it up and smash it. If you have a high level of a certain hormone and then you just push it down, that will absolutely cause a cascade of imbalance in your other hormones. Like our body is a very well-oiled machine. Like if you are muting one thing, it is going to try to overcompensate somewhere else. Yeah. And so you will now have a snowball of other effects of your body that are just caused by muting the symptom of a high, like increased hormone.
Yeah. I just think what you said at the beginning of like wanting to create a safe space to circle back to it, like that's what you did. Like your perspective is like, if I don't know the answer that's right for you, I'm not going to make something up to tell you what it is.
I'm going to be like, that's not my expertise.
I don't know. It's not my expertise.
But I can probably find someone that does, but it's not me.
But like that, like resource referral, that education first, that like here's a big picture, something that can help a lot of people. But then there's the individual variants. Like it's just
one thing so interesting that this just reminded me of when you said that. Yeah. So our social team, I love them so much. They're amazing, and they like sometimes they just get so excited to like create so much more new information. And Danielle and I review social content with them every week, and we noticed this pattern that they were getting in because like we love our Gen Z girls. There's a Gen Z girls, so they're like new. People are asking asking questions about this. And I started to notice that where they were creating a lot of content around things that we weren't necessarily experts in. And it was going to like the second, third, fourth layer of wellness that could tie back to acne, but wasn't like where the root cause existed. And they were going like deep into gut health. And like, yes, I am so passionate about gut health, but I am not a gut health expert.
Right.
I'm an expert with acne as it relates to gut health. So I can talk through the lens of acne, but I'm not going to put you through a gut parasite cleanse. Like, I don't specialize in completely restoring your gut. I can help with the tips of the gut as it relates to the skin.
Right.
And so they were going like deep into gut health. And I was like, guys, we got to reel it in. Like, we're not here to talk about things that we're not experts in. Yeah. We're here to talk about acne. And so we're here to focus on the root cause of acne and the actionable steps people can take. And we never show a problem without offering a solution or something helpful. But I just had to rein them in a little bit of like, okay, let's get back to Clearstem. Let's get back to Clearstem ethos. Like, let's not go 10 posts deep into gut health. We are not a gut health company. We are a skin and acne company that correlates with gut health. Right. So it's like we have the lifestyle tips for gut health, but I'm not going to go like deep on protocols and like, you know, like gut cleanses. Like I'm not going to be talking about that.
And thank God, just because it's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Especially when people blow. Your social team does a great job. You guys have a big platform. Like people can blow up and get excited and then think, oh, I have to speak to more and more and more.
Yes.
So to be like, I know what's my lane. I know what I'm here to do. And I'm fine with outsourcing. So like there's so much power in that too.
Yeah. And I was like, let's just like, we're here to help people with acne. Let's keep it here. Like we don't need to be everything to everyone.
Yes.
We are the safe space for acne.
So healthy. It's just so healthy.
No, it is. And I think it also, by the way, signals something larger about you as a human being.
Exactly.
Because I think your ethos as a founder and your North Star has stayed so clear. Everyone knows I shout out random books that I'm obsessed with. And I was reading The Psychology of Money earlier this year.
Ooh, I've heard that's a good one.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
she highly recommends. Breeze through it. It's amazing.
Love.
And a concept that he talks a lot about in there is understanding what's enough and how that can apply to any single area of our life. Obviously, he's specifically talking about understanding when you're making enough money and like relaxing and not being greedy.
I like that.
I'm thought of that in terms of the way that you were speaking, because it's really easy as a company that is performing so well, that has stellar products, and you're killing it, and it could be really easy for somebody in your position to exploit that and want more.
Yeah.
And the reason that I believe that your company has had the longevity that it's had and will continue to have that longevity is because you have that, for lack of a better phrase, gut check.
Yeah.
That you know how,
Cute, I love
how to bring it back. And because you understand and you've remained clear on the why of why you started this business, which I just, as a consumer, could not thank you enough for.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive that and hear that. That's honestly, that's my goal. And just like as we talk about unpacking things and training up the team and being there for the employees to help them embody that too. Of like, they are enough and what we talk about is enough. We don't need to add more. We're here to reach more people too. Yeah. And it's okay for people to graduate beyond our education. You know, like there's some people that come to us and like learn everything they need to learn. And it's okay if they're like no longer engaging with their page anymore. Cause like maybe they really did learn everything they needed to and they're good and they're moving on to their next chapter of wellness or whatever. Next thing they're unpacking in life and they're beyond their acne journey and they've graduated from that. Like we don't need to add more information that isn't applicable just to like keep them engaged. Like let's keep just spreading our message. Let's keep reaching the people that need us and haven't found us yet.
You are the best.
Adore your perspective. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see your creative endeavors in the next couple months. This is going to be exciting to see what you do next with this because wow, what a beautiful way to show up in one facet. Yeah. I'm excited to see what that looks like in other facets for you.
That's
so cool.
I appreciate that.
Also, thank you for making products that make us feel so pretty.
That makes my day. Like that makes me so happy. Like literally like giving people confidence in their skin is the greatest gift.
Yeah,
truly.
It's the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're the best. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys.
Truly.
Yes.
That was so fun. Oh my
that
God.
was so, guys, I could talk to you for hours.
No, seriously.
No, there's like, we're going to have to do a couple book swaps. Like, we have a lot of follow-up.
The face masks.
Yes.
We will stay friends.
How's it going, y'all? It's Aaron. Don't let your Monday suck. Don't have those Sunday scaries. I'm tired of everybody waking up in the week saying, ah, shit, it's Monday. You know what goes down? TMV releases every week on Mondays. Make sure you rate and review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're watching YouTube, yes, TMV has a YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and ring that noti bell and never miss a thing. And also, join the TMV Familia by joining the Thoughts May Vary Patreon and by following at Thoughts May Vary Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for listening.
Great.
There you go.
Thanks, AB.
Got y'all.